Let me open this thing up. Is that okay?
You can do whatever you want.
Great. Listen, just want to let you guys know that Chester Stewart and Kiera Griffin will be suspended for this game for a violation of team policies. I'm not going to talk about it, so don't ask me any questions about it. I wanted to let you guys know that out of respect for you, okay? But I'm not going to discuss it beyond that. That's a private team matter. From the quarterback standpoint, I'm going to make a game time decision on the starting quarterback position. And obviously, vying in that mix right now would be Girardi, Coyer, and I think Juice at this point would have a small role right now. But those two, between those two, is a game time decision in terms of who will be that starting quarterback. Okay, so I just started to get that out for you, and we can go on from there.
Steve, one game for Kiera and Chester?
At this point, yes.
Steve, what are Chris and Mike doing to make it a tough decision for you? Like, what have they shown you over the last couple of weeks? Where have they improved? What are they doing to make this like a neck and neck type of game?
Well, I mean, they've just had, they've had a great camp, and each one of them, as all players, all have their strengths and their things that they need to work on. But I like both of they're starting to develop their command. You always hear me talk about this. They're both talented, gifted, talented guys in terms of the ability to throw and run, but it's the ability to accelerate. I was and still looking for that that ability, and I see things happening every day. I think I told this to you last time we got together here, and I still can tell you that. I'm still watching that development right now. And so I like I think the competition brings out the best in everybody, and I see that right now. And so I see it all in a positive light right now. So I want to keep that. I want to continue with that. And I think who we as a staff feel is the guy at this point that can best drive that football team will be the starter going into that game.
Have they been splitting the snaps this week?
Yes.
Well, when do you plan to tell them who's going to start? Are you going to take that up to the list?
No, okay. Probably not. Probably not. Be honest with you, okay? But I won't. I'm not going to release that.
And then, what if one guy? It's going to be week by week basis, or this guy going to be there for?
I'm dealing with Thursday right now on my mind. You guys know how I am. I'll tell you straight like it is. Okay, I'm not going to run you around the pole on it. I mean, that's how I think all of it is, though. I'd be honest with you, isn't it? I mean, football. You want competition. If you're a guy, you want to feel like if a guy's not getting the job done, you give a guy another chance to get the job done. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, it's called competition. I think that's a great thing. Every position. I know you guys are focused on the quarterback position. I understand that. But, I mean, it's like that at every position. It should be. It should be wide open. And you should have to perform. There's nothing given. It's all earned. So if someone's not getting a job done, I'm not a big baseball guy, but a pitcher's not getting it done, they bring another pitcher in. I mean, it's the way it is, and that's why there's more than 11 kids on an offensive side of the football. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. And it doesn't mean you're, oh, there's a little mistake over here, get the hook. I mean, we all know that, right? But at some point you gotta be productive.
Steve, you waited a long time for this, and you're 4 days away from. How do you feel? You pretty?
Yeah.
I mean, this is your first game too.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm as excited as I was for my first game as a high school coach in 1989. Okay, I feel the same way all the time. Getting ready for a season, you got that same competitive juice starting to flow in you. You got that little bit of anxiety edge to you. I think it's the way it is. I want to make sure that we're the most prepared that we can be. Whereas an assistant, I might be the same feelings on a smaller circle as the head coach, the same feelings just on a larger circle. Meaning what? Meaning I got both sides of the ball. I've got the special teams. I've got the management of every piece of this football team. It's not different feelings. It's just more management. And it doesn't faze me. I mean, this is something I've really grown with over the last years. I didn't go from one extreme to the other. So, I'm pretty comfortable with it. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm pretty fired up about it. I'm really excited and anxious, to get this thing going. I'm a realist. I understand that, in college football, the most growth occurs from game 1 to game 4, and you really don't know your team, really, until you get into that 3-4 game is when you start to get a sense of who your team really is. I think sometimes opening days can fool you a little bit, unfortunately, one way or the other. You know, you don't want to take it like you think you're half good if you win in impressive fashion, and you don't necessarily have to take away there that all's lost if you don't, because there's a lot of growth, and we all know that. That's why that's why you play 11 games or whatever. I can't even keep tab with the number anymore. It's so fluctuating, but that's why you do that. And so I'm a big believer in that. And steady in the boat. I think the thing is go out. Your goal is to play as error-free a game as you can. Take care of the football. Don't let up big plays. And don't have a bunch of penalties. And you put yourself in great position. If you do one of those other things, you're putting yourself in harm's way. And, it's not always the most talented team that wins a football game. Okay? And early on, those things have a way of showing their head more than later. And it's our job to do the very best we can, which we are working on, to make sure that we're as smooth as we can be operationally and in those 3 categories that I talked about.
A guy that sets goals like for the year, do you talk to kids, or do you tend to take it like, if we take care of business week 1 and week 2 and week 3, we're going to get to wherever it is we want to be anyway?
Yeah, my whole thing has always been, it's all about Thursday night. I mean, it's all about Thursday night, right? It's like I always have this mentality, put me in the corner and let me come out fighting right now. Okay, it's all about this fight right now. This is the fight. This is all that matters. Get everything out of your head. Clear the noise. Clear the chamber. You got one thing only. Yeah, we got Thursday night for a 3-hour block of time. We've got to go as hard as we can go, play as physical and as tough as we can play, and as clean as we can play in terms of mistakes and penalties and errors, etc. And that's all that matters. You can't. There's not enough capacity to worry about anything else. Anything else is just noise and it's a distraction.
Steve, do you get a sense from these guys are they a little more amped up for this game because they hadn't played, and then this series just became a rivalry right away? Nova gets the first one, and then Temple gets the second one. Both games go literally down to the last seconds. Is this one where the guys are already kind of juiced up for it, and you don't really need to make them aware of that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I would think absolutely yes. I mean, I think that we're opening up with a crosstown rivalry. We're opening up with a game that's traditionally been down to the wire. We're opening up against a football team that is extremely well coached and a great football team. Okay, there are some places that are opening up with teams that, let's face it, they feel they're going to run through, and I've been there and I know what that's like, trying to get your guys ready to play. They're more interested in, am I out in the second quarter or when am I out? Okay, our guys' mindset here is absolutely, we are going to be in a complete street fight, and it's going to be a 4-quarter, and the team that's the toughest and is the last one standing is going to win that game. That's the mindset here. We're going to full rounds in this fight right now, okay? And that's because we're playing a great football team. So yes, this is not just your typical. There's not necessary to. I'm not a mind game player to begin with, but it's not you don't have to play mind games to get a team ready to play this game. Temple will be ready to play the football game.